Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to podcastjuice.net. My name is Michael Dean, and today we are here for part 2 of our review of Sign of the Times, the Deluxe edition, and this is for Vault Tracks 2. So man, if you listen to that massive one we did for Vault 1, buckle up for we're back, baby. We ready to go for another round. And joining me today, Mr. Big Ken. Sir, how are you?
I'm good, man. Ready to jump on this Vault 2, man. Let's get to it.
All right. And also joining us, he's live out there in this thing called life, literally, Mr. Day Dropping. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing well, Mike. Just a quick caveat, because I'm out and about. I'm going to try to get as much as I can in, but I may have to cut out a little bit sooner than expected.
No worries, man. We grown men. We got families. We got to take care of our babies and our people. So we understand that. Also joining us, Mr. Big Sexy and Saxer. How are you?
Doing all right. Tried a new tequila last night, and nice relaxation. Doing a little listening, a little tequila sipping. It was all right.
All right, you getting your sip on last night. I ain't mad at you. Well, let's get things started. We're gonna do a lot of talking crazy. Let's just jump right in. So the first track on Vault 2 is Train. And I'm gonna go to Big Ken to start us off.
Oh, I get to kick it off? All right.
Sir.
Well, as we all know, this has been, available via the nefarious underground for quite a while. So first off, it's really nice to have it in this quality. But I've always loved this song, man. It's one of my favorites of his, because I personally appreciate the soundscape that's created in this song. And what I mean by that is, like, the song is called Train. He's got that thumping bass line, that kind of tapered echo effect on the snare, like it's repeated every time it hits the snare. You got that deep percussive clap that's layered on top of the snare during the choruses, the train whistles. I mean, it's all super dope, man. And it really does, at least to me, gives me the vibe that you're riding on the train. And I just always found that really impressive. The horns, the accents from Eric and Atlanta, they're on point. And I think I even hear Eric might be playing a baritone sax in there a little bit. I mean, and his layered vocals, Prince's vocals are very well done. I mean, it's just a wonderful track, man. I love it. So this is one of my favorites that gets played very often.
All right, Day Dropping.
Yeah, this is a personal favorite. I like the fact that now it's as clear as it is, because you can hear a little bit more echoing on the layered vocals, and I went jogging to it this morning and just enjoyed the hell out of it. Like I said, that percussion effect done with the train sound, he's used it in other tracks as well, and I've always loved that. That's what attracted me to this track when I first heard it as a boot years ago. Was that sound? I thought, oh, that's different. That's cool. I like that sound, and it just hooked me from there. As far as I'm concerned, there's really nothing wrong with this song. It's a go-to song for me. Every once in a while, before it was officially released, I'd go back to this song and hear it every once in a while. I just like the vibe on it, and the lyrics on it are just upbeat and they're just cool. And it's one of those just because songs, It's for me, because of the nostalgia on it, on the score on it. I've like I said, this one always, it gets to me, and I've always enjoyed it. I can always listen to this song without any worries that whether it fits my mood or not. It just works.
What's the score? Uh-oh. Well, Ernie, I don't know if you can hear us, but all of us, your connection went crazy.
Okay. All right. How about now?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? The phone, I got to monitor the phone so it don't go to sleep on me here. All right. So, like I was saying, it's a perfect song for me, and a score on it, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Not a 10, and it's not a perfect song, but it's really close, man. I really dig it.
All right. Big Sexy.
Ken mentioned it earlier. I do like that Eric Leeds pulled out the baritone sax for this one. Reminds me a little bit tonally and lyrically of a couple songs from back in the day, one way back in the day. Reminds me a little bit of Ohio Players and Jive Turkey, and a little bit of, her name was just slipped me. The woman who sings Called Tyrone.
Erykah Badu.
Thank you, Erykah Badu. Because lyrically, this song is like, look, hey, you don't love me anymore? There's a train leaving in the morning. get shit and get on it. You know, again, lyrically, I don't think the lyrics fit with the tone of the music, because those lyrics could have been a lot heavier in a different presentation. But again, it is a good song, and I enjoyed the letting the horns work out a little bit. And again, the sounds, again, with Steal from Ken, the soundscape was different than I'd ever heard before. Now, I had not heard this song before getting the box set, but I also see how it wouldn't have fit on Sign of the Times as well. But again, I liked it. I liked it lyrically a lot. I wish it was just delivered in different musical delivery format. That's all.
All right. All I can add is there's a train leaving in the morning. I love that shit. I love this song. I'm with the fellas, man. I've always enjoyed this. This is another one of those songs for, the hardcore fan. It's been around for years, but to hear it in its full totality sounds just like, so that's not much I can add. I enjoyed this. I'm so used to hearing it though, because it was on that Dream Factory boot many years ago, and I want to say it came after Dream Factory, the song, if I'm not mistaken. And I could be, but then I always remember it going right into so it's interesting for me now to hear it as the first track on something. But yeah, I love Train. Great song. Let's keep it moving. It Ain't Over Till the Fat Lady Shanks. And quickly, I will say, I've heard this one before, but never heard it like this. I've always enjoyed it, but the version I heard before, it was like really low quality. This is one of my favorites on this set. I didn't really know who was playing on this before, but looking at it now, I can see that it's Prince, Wendy, Lisa, Eric Lees, and Lana Bliss. Man, they was on something, because I really dig this. Last thing I'll add, apparently there is a version with Claire Fisher strings. I'm not understanding why I didn't put that on here. I very much would love to hear what that sounds like, but I enjoy this. I play this loud. I could just see Prince. I could see it as some sort of interlude, like, he'll do a hand signal and they just jump into that and he's just like on the stage strutting. Like, yeah. But yeah, this is dope to me. We'll go to Big Ken.
Yeah, I agree totally, man. I love this. It's a fun, it's playful, and I probably shouldn't say this because I know I'm gonna be showing my age here, but I'm telling you, when I first heard this song, when it kind of resurfaced a long time ago, the first it goes dun 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 dun, right? Those first two notes, for some reason, when I first heard it, it made me immediately think of, even though it's a bit slower, it made me think of the theme song to the Carol Burnett show. You remember that? You remember that?
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, so I don't know if that was if he had that in mind, who knows, man. But all I know is that this is short but memorable. The melody sticks in your head long after you've heard it. I love the jazz inflections of it, but the hard groove in the middle section, and I'm going to assume that that's Prince that's on the drums.
Yeah.
They are tight in the pocket. I love, and as far as I think I read somewhere that Wendy is actually on bass in this one for a little bit. Maybe I could be wrong. Whoever's on bass, they killing it. So yeah, this is a favorite of mine on this set, and in this quality, I'm with you, Mike. This is one that gets played very often and very at loud volumes.
Yeah, and let me throw in, it has doesn't have anything necessarily to do with this track, but I wanted to tell you specifically, I finally sat down and start listening to some Miles Davis and specifically Bitches Brew and whatever. And I used to have was it an album called On the Corner?
Yes. It's one.
I used to have that on cassette tape, but I was so young at the time that I just couldn't appreciate it. But I don't know what it was. I sat down and listened to this and I fell in. It was like, somebody pulled the rug from underneath my feet and I fell down the rabbit hole. And I was like, okay, I got some work to do. I was in love with the second track. Is that Bitches Brew, the second track?
Yeah, the second track is Bitches Brew. The first track is Pharaoh's Dance. But Mike, first I want to say I'm proud of you. Okay, I'm gonna give you the golf clap.
I feel like I've arrived.
Okay,
I made it.
Okay, but I will say this: you took the harder route because Britches Brew is probably not the best starting point. You know what I'm saying? Because well, no, it's not a diss. I'm just saying Miles changed jazz like 5 separate times in his career, right?
I did hear this.
He was kind of like Prince, man, where people would follow what he did.
Right.
So Bitches Brew is literally the birth of fusion. So on that record, you got Herbie Hancock, you got Chick Corea, Wayne Shorter. So, Headhunters and stuff that we love, all that's all direct descendant from that.
Yeah, so, and I knew some of these things, and I was looking on Amazon or something, and I was like, you know what? Let me listen. So I started listening, and then I found a video from back in those days, a performance of the Bitches Brew, and that's where I was like, I was like, this shit is dope as fuck. I was like, so I'm all in. I just wanted to tell you that real quick. We'll get back.
Real quick, we're not gonna go off on a side tangent, but just to put it in, just to put it into context for you, as you continue your journey with this, just remember the time frame that this was at, right? This was 69. Miles was already a jazz legend. So think of somebody that, for him to go the path he did with Bitches Brew was a massive mind fuck for a lot of people. Think of it if it is like if Beyonce all of a sudden decided to try her hand at country music. You see what I'm saying? That's how dramatic a shift it was, and people wasn't hip to it. And he kind of had that Prince attitude. Well, look, this is where I'm going. Right. If you ain't down, and 2 fingers, kick rocks. And that's where it was at. So, yeah, man, buckle up. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it was. I was looking at a list of the top albums from 1969, and that was because that was the year I was born. I said, what was going on? Because it was that album and one I'm already familiar with, Sly and the Family Stone's Stand in the same year. So anyway, getting back to this, Big Sexy, It Ain't Over to the Fat Lady Sings, which I don't know if you could say that now, right, without them coming for you.
When Ken mentioned the Carol Burnett inspiration for reference, it just popped into my head. I'm so glad we had this time together. Okay, enough of that. Yep. I like it. It's short, and it's not. I don't mean to belittle it by any stretch when I say for an instrumental, but I'm listening to this, and I think, what would happen if they had taken "Now's the Time" out of the Sign of the Times set and put this in instead? Let the band work out around that, because the way it's built up, it leaves a lot of room for improvisation. Like in "Now's the Time," each person could take a little solo piece and run with it and bring it back to the band and play while Prince is changing his clothes. I think we were just seeing the tip of the iceberg on this because it is so short. But what I heard, I liked. I think it would have been interesting to see if, Prince, Wendy, Lisa, Eric, and Atlanta did more stuff like this, just sitting around in the studio. Somebody hit record and they just play and just let it rip. Because this had a lot of potential on it too. It really does.
Yeah. Which makes me really appreciate, and I hope at some point they get a proper release of The Flesh. Like, it's kind of, to me, this sits in that sort of same vein. Ernie, Day Dropping.
Yeah, you said that, The Flesh, and that's what I had on my notes here. It kind of reminds you of something that will fit right in with the Flesh sessions. Really quick, I dig it. This song is good enough for an 8 out of 10, but, the inclusion of dogs barking, that just props it up to a 9. Are you kidding me? Man, if it was longer, it'd be a 10, because it's such a fun little track that you can take more of this track and you're okay with it. So yeah, I'll keep mine simple. Like I said, 9 out of 10. It's a great little song. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is this one just a little bit longer than The Boot? Because I think The Boot
it might
originally
be.
It faded out a little bit where towards the end where it went dun, 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 it would fade out right there. And this one has like a proper ending to it. It only lasts like about 20 seconds more. but I think this one actually gives you the proper ending to the song. So that's cool. I mean, but yeah, 9 out of 10.
All right. Next up is Eggplant.
Yeah.
Big Ken, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this is a serious favorite of mine on this set and off this set. Okay, because again, this is one of the ones that kind of the version with Wendy and the lead vocals kind of surfaced about a year and a half ago, something like that. Regardless,
no, real quick, I thought that was Joe Jones.
No, but the version I heard, it was Wendy.
Oh, there's Wendy. Okay,
it's Wendy because it has a lot of funny banter between Wendy and and Prince in the background.
Interesting.
With the fluffy poodle and all that. Remember? So this is a certified volume up to 10 Exhibit A track. Like I mentioned last time, the Exhibit A tracks. These are the type of tracks where you could like put in front of somebody to try to explain or showcase what makes Prince so different. The thing about this song, man, that I adore, to me, is the sheer audacity of it, right? It's just another example of this super experimental mode that he, along with Wendy and Lisa, they were all in during this period, and they just had a willingness to just try anything, and that excites me. I mean, the song is so damn quirky. It's eccentric, but it's super funky, man. It's definitely atypical. It's not like anything or anybody else out there. And for me personally, everything about it works. I mean, like it starts out with that kind of techno-ish kind of repeated synth bass line that's like going through the whole track. You got that super sticky melody, dun, 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 dun. I mean, it's wacky, almost like some Bugs Bunny cartoon type stuff, man. And it stays with you, like it sticks with you long after you heard it. The lyrics are hilarious, especially the way Prince delivers them. And then when that chicken grease guitar come in at about 2.5 minutes, and then Eric and Atlanta, man, they got their solos, Eric solos all the way out through the outro with that bass, dun, 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 all the way through. It's like, man, come on. I mean, dude, it's like I was so happy that we got this on this set in this quality, man. It's perfect, man. Perfect.
All right. Day dropping.
100% co-sign everything that Big Ken just said. I'm going to read off of my notes from last week because it adds to an extra point that I want to talk about now because I prepared these notes ahead of time. So it says, I really like this version. The song is a cute song with its structure and its instrumentation. It's a grower, but it doesn't have very much to grow as it is already a 9 out of 10. That was last week. But goddamn, this fucking earworm of a song, man. It stays stuck in my head. I heard it going to work. For the good first 2 hours of work, I'm humming it over and over again. It's just going over and over in my head. And that's the thing that I want to really focus on here with this track. I like the Prince version better than the Wendy version. And it's not a knock on the Wendy one. I just like the way he delivers it, and it's perfect. Just like Ken said, it's a perfectly done ditty of a song. And it's, one thing about Prince music that I've always dug is that from one day to the next, I could change my thoughts about his songs. And sometimes it takes months before listening to a song to be like, you know what, I didn't like it at first, but now I really love it. It's a favorite staple of mine. And that's what happened with this song. I mean, I've always liked the song, but when I heard it at first, first couple of times I heard it on this set, I go, it's nice. It's 9 out of 10. It's cool because I've heard the song before and I like it and I like his delivery on it. But no, after hearing it over repeatedly, and I think I heard this song more than any other track on this particular set. On this CD, I should say, on this Vault 2 CD. And it's a 10 for me now. It's just, it's one of those songs that it stays stuck in your head. And believe me, if you're not feeling it now, give it a good few listens and you're going to like it. So 10 out of 10.
All right. Big Sexy.
I was not familiar with this song until the box set, and again, this is another portion, I believe, where it's Prince, Wendy, Lisa, Eric, and Atlanta. And again, I'm listening to the individual pieces. I like how Eric comes in with the tenor sax. I like what Wendy's doing on the guitar. The drum is right out front, Sounds like a lot of fun. You know, it hasn't hit the earworm state with me yet, but listening to it, I can see how it can. So I just want to get a little more familiar with it. But from what I'm hearing presently, and what I've heard presently, excuse me, I like it, but I'm just not there with you guys yet on it.
Oh man, I would say I remember hearing this when it sort of leaked a while ago, and again, it was just a bad quality, and I guess it was Wendy singing. It was just something about the voice I just couldn't feel. I couldn't get into it, so I just never really listened to it. And I remember when I started playing this when it first came out, and when it first comes out, that dun, 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 and I was like, this is. And to myself, this is my own internal voice. This is on some bullshit. I'm not even. Like, come on, Prince. But then I started to let it play, and it's just like you said. Dun, dun, dun. First of all, that's classic to me. Those Prince sort of melody type. Dun, 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 dun. I was like, that's my shit in there. You know, it's kind of buried underneath this little wacky shit. That's my shit, right? That's okay. And then I'm listening to him sing, and you know, da 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 da. I was like, what is he? I was like, okay, he was happy. You know what I'm saying? Happy stuff. You know, I can see him on stage. You know, Willy Wonka out. You dig that funky Willy Wonka? But then I'm actually singing. I'm like this. I'm caught into it, and then when he just starts grooving, and then Chicken Scratch come in. Stop it. I was like, he's clowning. He was going in. I was like, this shit is filthy. Like, just listen to it. And I'm everything you guys said. I have to play this song. I hum this song. I'm at work. Like, yeah. And Ken, you hit, man. They could have kept it going.
Dude, it could have been another 5-10 minutes,
exactly.
and you know they could have just funked it out even more.
Yeah, I was like, they're starting to get a little. I'm like, look, Eric's clowning.
Yep.
I was like, So yeah, this is a burner to me. Like, I don't know. I'm glad I didn't really listen to this before, because now I'm like, this is one of my favorites. Like,
I would add one thing, though, guys. I would tell you this: don't sleep on the version with the Wendy vocals, because the music is the same, okay? And she's saying the same lyrics, but there's a lot of funny banter between her describing, these airheaded women, and Prince in the background,
Are they having some kind of like Valley Girlish type?
Exactly.
That's probably what threw me off.
Exactly. That's the whole point of the song. He overheard Wendy and Lisa talking about some airheaded girl, and he came up with the song, saying basically she's as dumb as an eggplant. Right. So, but I'm just saying the banter between the two of them in that song is hilarious. So both, to me, in my opinion, both of these versions, this version on this set and the Wendy version, to me, they're equal. They're both both of them are super dope.
Yeah, I think in my mind, it makes me remember of what's my man? Oh my God. Look at their, but there's a certain tone of that type of voice. I can't do it. So that's probably why I was like, I'm cool.
It's exactly like that. Like,
that's why I can't do that.
There's a line in like the Wendy version. She's like, she's as smart as a wind tunnel, like an airhead. You know what I mean?
I can't do that.
And that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
I know it is, but I'm good. I'm just saying.
That's what makes it so funny, though. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, either way, man, this is a classic song, man. This is a jam all day.
Right, but yeah. So,
and Mike, you know what?
Well, let me just finish what I'm saying, y'all. I'm gonna jump in. But yes, like I said, man, this song is just one of those ones you cannot stop saying. I think of every song, of all the songs on this set, this is the one song, aside from another one that I just can't think of all of a sudden, that I keep humming all the time. I just cannot stop singing that. But go ahead, Daydrop.
Yeah, I kind of figured that you might say that you like that melody part of the song of the synth on there, just because of the progression of the chords on it. And what it reminds me of is another song that I know that you like as well. And it's probably why it kind of reminds me of Graffiti Bridge.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
It's like, okay, Mike's gonna like this part, and sure enough, you mentioned it. Not surprised.
Yeah, you know me well. All right, man. So yeah, let's get off the Eggplant and move to Everybody Want What They Don't Got. I'm gonna start here, and I'll make mine quickly. I think it was Ken mentioned the Carol Burnett thing. And I want to say, I think in Neil's book, there is a thing about Prince watching a lot of TV. And specifically, there's a quote in there from Andre Simone. Like, he was like, that was Prince's thing. Like, he'd be watching these sitcoms, man. He was always like, I don't know how you can watch all these shows. Like, and now listening to this song, and there are other songs, I would not be surprised if that is like a subconscious or conscious thing that he has that TV show theme music sort of vibe ingrained in his DNA in a weird way, and it comes out in these funny little ways. Because this song to me, and this is one of my favorites, this has been on the boot scene for a while. The moment I heard it, I fell in love with it. It makes me think of my guy from the Toy Story movies. What's his name? Is it Randy Newman or something? Or?
Yeah.
It makes me, but but it's Princified, you know. But I could see it being like some kind of TV show, 80s TV show theme music, or some Broadway play or some funny type of thing. But I love this little piece of music here. I just think it is so fun. It is so catchy. That's the thing about Prince, and we don't give him enough props, man. He can be a catchy son of a snitch when he wants to be on songs, man. Like, I seem like in this period specifically, he could come up with these catchy ass little hooks and ditties. And I love this. So this is one of my top joints. I've always played it. I continue to play it. We'll switch it up here and go to Big Sexy.
You know, I like the keyboards on this because clearly they take the place of horn lines. And when I'm listening to it, I'm thinking, that should be horns. And this is the genius of Prince. I've said many times that Prince is one of the very, very few people who can walk into a studio by himself and come out with a completed song, 3-4 hours later. This is one of them. According to the Prince Vault, he walked in Sunset Sound on July 13th, 1986 by himself and did this. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And again, he played the keyboards like that because he doesn't play any brass or wind instruments. So he's like, if my horns were here, I'd want them to play this. And as far as what you said, Mike, about it being maybe subconsciously influenced by TV, I could easily see this in Toy Story. Just the name alone, you have little kids running around. Somebody has something, somebody else doesn't have something. What would he got? And they play this. Everybody's what they don't got. Yeah, I could easily see him taking over and coming to the Randy Newman soundtrack lane easily with something like this. And again, the fact that he just walked in one day and just did it is amazing to me.
Yeah, I could see this. This would be the pitch that they're doing the Prince movie or TV series on Netflix, and it was going to touch on him when he was a kid. And I could see the scene where Prince is at the James Brown concert, right? And his stepdad gets him up on stage, and he's dancing with James, and then they hustle him off the stage, and Prince is walking backstage, and out of his own word, he said, "I saw those dancing girls backstage." And this is where I'd have that music playing when he was a little kid. Everybody wants what they don't got. Like, this is where he started, and those girls. And he saw the girls, and then goes off to little kid Afro Prince adventures or something. But Big Ken.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. This is another favorite of mine. I loved it since I first heard it when it, surfaced some time ago. It's a very short song, but it's powerful. To me, I get some Beatlesque type vibes when I hear it from it, kind of like on a Rubber Soul type tip. I mean, I'm not sure if that was his intent, but that's what comes to mind for me because, like them, Prince is a great songwriter, man. The instrumentation and the music in this song is very simplistic, but it's so full of melodic power that it grabs you. You know, that melody sticks with you, you know, long after you've heard it. And then what I like about it more than anything is that there's a lot of weight due to the depth and the truth of the lyrics. Like he's kind of doing it on the sneak tip, but here's what he's saying. Everybody want what they don't got. Those words, they're playfully delivered, but they basically sum up the essence of human nature and what's wrong with the world right now. Everybody want what they don't got. And then he even manages to give you a good advice and to counter it. Like, don't be deceived by your greedy heart. It could be the devil in disguise. Check the ingredients before you start. One day they could all change in front of your eyes. Like, you know, to me, that's dope, man. I mean, and that's the kind of stuff the Beatles used to do, you know, really lyrically powerful. The song melodically is powerful, but it's short, it's in your face, and then it hits you in the gut. I love it. I think it's a great song.
All right. Day dropping.
Yeah, you know, my thoughts haven't changed since when we first talked about this many moons ago, when it came out on the boot scene. One thing, I'm just so glad that it's finally out for folks who don't really dabble in that. They can finally see or hear this this track, and it sounds much clearer now than it did before. You know, to me, and I said this back then, it sounds like the very beginning of Welcome Back, Carter to me, the music on it. And that's cool. I mean, when I first heard it, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Oh my God, it's Welcome Back, Carter. But
that's a damn good,
I've enjoyed this.
Good pull there, Ernie. You're right. It does. Now that you bring it up.
Yeah. And I've enjoyed this one for many years now, and I'm gonna continue to enjoy it. It just kind of tells you just how diverse this cat is, man, with the stuff that he does. I mean, this is wild. For me, it's another earworm. I hear this one a couple of times and it's stuck in my head again. And that's a testament to it, because it's a short song. It's a short song and it still stays stuck. But I think, you know, sometimes short songs, we wish they were longer. I like the length of this song. I think it works just fine the way it is. It doesn't need to be more than what it is. It packages everything up, a small little package that's very powerful. And plus the song mentions Jack Benny. I mean, come on. Who's going to mention Jack Benny in their song? I mean, that was crazy.
Yep.
But it's 9 out of 10 on a rainy day when I need something to listen to. It'll be a 10 out of 10. It jumps back and forth between those scores.
Right on, man. That's just that goes in his starfish and coffee bag. It's like,
it does.
You know. All right, next up, Blanche. And I'm gonna go to Big Ken. That's all he got to say. But I would just say, anytime there's a Prince song and start with
you better listen when
you know it's about to be some shit.
But Mike, no, don't go to me first. Go to Ernie first. Ernie was the one that had some beef with this, I believe. Go ahead, Ernie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's listen.
What? Man, I threw out some false narrative on this, and there's hilarious. No beef here. There's a whole lot of chicken fat. A whole lot. But ain't no beef. Man, again, like Mike said, any song that starts with oh shit. My God. I had never heard this one before. Or I've never heard this one before, I should say. Man, the funky guitar, that percussion. Woo, holy shit, this is a banger. But you got to hear this one on headphones, folks. You got to hear this one on headphones, man, because this is wild. You guys are going to just go crazy on this. So I'm just going to give you my score. This shit is a 10. You kidding me? How could it be anything other than that? This song is funky. And you know what? Here's the thing. Prince he probably told Susan, you know what? Just keep the mics live, and step out a little bit, because I'm kind of tired. And then he came up with this. He did this shit in his sleep. He's so, man, this mother. Jeez, songs like this. So this is when you say, dude, you had this stuff in there, you didn't release it? Come on now. You guys can take it to the next level on this one. It's a 10.
Well, let me just throw this and say, because I'm gonna pretty much agree with everything you say. But when I first heard, and I've never heard this either. When I first heard this though, this reminds me. To me, this is Jesse Johnson's entire style. I would even argue that this could be like some slick slap to the face to Jesse. I was trying to look back and see when this was made, because And what's interesting is this song is the drums are panned to the left.
Yes.
So if you listen to this without the drums, it sounds exactly like Jesse Johnson. I mean, the way he's singing it is Jesse style. That I was like, damn, is this a
Yes.
So but I love it. But I was like, man, okay. But yeah, this is Prince. I don't know why he didn't put this out. Banger. If I had a nitpick, I just wish the drums were full on both and it was just banging out. But either way, this is
But
so
that is one
funky.
hell of a nitpick.
That's what I said. It is a nitpick. This song is perfect.
It is
but
a nitpick.
This is just, I'm glad this came. Whoa, this is one of the jewels.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, okay. Big Ken, go to you.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, man. But to go back earlier to what you were talking about, the Prince and TV thing, this to me, obviously, he must have recorded this after he watched Streetcar Named Desire, because those are the main two characters in that movie, Blanche and Stanley. So either he really loved that movie, or he just temporarily found some inspiration in it and whatever. But what I really like about the song, man, is that to me, at least to my ears, man, this song has a really raw, like unpolished kind of garage band quality sound to it. Like it's just like I could picture him like he watched the movie and he's like, oh damn, this is a good idea. Turned the TV off, went down to the studio real quick, picked up the shit, hit record, and then just started laying it down. Like he probably may not even have had any intention of actually putting this on an album, or it may not have even been meant for any specific project. It's just like he just was inspired and he just laid it down. He just laid down that funky bass line, which I dig. And when I had the headphones on grooving to it, at one point in the song, I hear 3 distinct guitar parts laid on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? Which is just really dope, man. So I like it, man. It just, again, goes to show, man, this cat, man, it just was a conduit, man. The music comes when it comes. He hit record and he just let it rip.
All right, Big Sexy.
Again, I got to co-sign with everybody else. At the beginning of the song, so this is about, a girl named Blanche and a guy named Stanley. I'm like, hey, streetcar, cool. And then it goes left on me. The guitar comes out, and it's just consistent through the whole song. The drums are panned to the left. I noticed that too when I was listening to it. I'm like, well, that's weird. I mean, they were banging. And now that Mike has said, this is like Jesse style, I can hear it. I can hear Jesse doing this, both with his full band or when his later tour, where it was just be him and a couple other people. I can just see Jesse standing there doing this, accompanied by a drum, easily. And again, this is another one of those things where Prince just walked in the studio. I got nothing to do. Let's go ahead and do this. And he did it. And, later in the song, they had the little time change in it too. Slow down a little bit. The guitar comes down maybe half a step lower in key, but it's still there. I love this one. Now, this is something, I can go to people and say, look, this is what Prince was about, man. Walked in and did it by himself. Boom, there it is. Can you do that? Shut up. I love it. I love it.
All right. Go ahead, Ken.
No, I was going to ask Ken actually though. Ken, from the Gold Experience, I don't recall the song. The lyrics, something hot, virgin white. What's that song?
Shy.
Yeah.
Shy. This kind of reminds me of Shy, or Shy reminds me of this a little bit.
Yeah.
It does.
I can see that.
That's all I was going to say. I couldn't remember the name of the song though.
All right, man. This particular set, Vault 2, is about to be. This turned it up. This is about to be.
Yes, it did. It is. It's very different.
About to go
very
somewhere
different.
right here. So next up is Soul Psychedelic Side. I heard it was a hell of a thing. You've heard this term in Prince songs before. You may not know exactly what the hell they was referring to. Well, here's 12 minutes and 37 seconds that you can get it straight. I'm gonna just keep it a stack once again. I'm glad they put something like this on here. This is, now you said you would give them Blanche. I would say give them something like, oh, you want to know what Prince, like with the band? Here you go. ice cream.
Yes.
Monster Jam. I was like, what is this? Now I've heard different takes of this or different versions of this or different jams. They're out there, but I'm just glad that they put whatever version this is on here, and it sounds great. They have a chance, an opportunity to stretch it out, and you just get to get in the groove and lay back in it, get up. You gonna want to get up off your feet and be like, yeah, slamming. Slamming. That's what this is. This could have been a B-side for the ages, but I'm glad we got it in 2020. Big Ken.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. There's not really too much to add, man. I mean, this is just pure, 100% raw, uncut, pure Minneapolis funk, man. I mean, this is what we have been privy to all of these years. We've heard him do, like you said, there's been different takes of this, and we've seen different iterations of this in some of his concerts and, concert bootlegs and stuff. The whole ice cream thing is it's perfect, man. It's hilarious. It's funky. I love it. And it's just really great to have it in this quality, man. I mean, so it's just another hit on this set, man.
Yeah, so it actually brings, when I listen to this, I don't think so much of Sign of the Times as I think the Parade tour or shows. It comes to my mind personally, but banging either way. Big Sexy.
I can just see the revolution in the later days, just taking this one and running with it like they do on this recording. And it has a lot of those Prince staples. It has that little, I'm not a musician, so I'm just going to use what I hear. Has a little turnaround in it at the beginning. Da na 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 da. And they go into something else. And a lot of times Prince will have these little snippets of other songs that he puts in different songs. And this is one of them. I'm sure we all heard pieces of this here and there in different things. And this is probably the genesis of that. Just letting the band stretch out, work out. And I will eat some crow on this, because I remember once years ago, Ken and I were talking about the better band, Sign of the Times Band of Revolution. And Ken's like, hey, do not sleep on the Revolution. Had I not known this was a revolution, I wouldn't have thought it was a revolution. I would have thought it was a Sign of the Times band. They brought that jazzy funk to it, which I didn't think they could do. Shows I was wrong. And I love this.
All right. Day dropping.
Okay, so I'm going to, again, go reflect to my notes from last week really quick and tell you that it's different than...
Uh-oh. I think we lost Ernie.
Sorry. I think I tapped the mic button as I put the phone down. Like I say, I'll refer to my notes from last week and just tell you that it's different now. My thoughts on this. Really quick, it says, I don't recall hearing this version before. It sounds like something better played live. It's cool, and it goes on for months, like mentioned, enjoying repetition, and it almost wears out its welcome. I like it, though, even though I don't consider it really in the soul psychedelic side group of songs. It's a 7 out of 10. That was last week. Now, I'm gonna now say this. I don't consider this soul psychedelic side. I'm gonna call this song Ice Cream, and I'm cool with that. Because if I call it soul psychedelic side, then it really doesn't quite fit. It doesn't quite fit with the other ones, because the other ones are just a completely different thing. The only tie to soul psychedelic side is just the fact that they chant that in the song. That's it. But the song itself, I'm not gonna ding it on that, because that's a nitpick when it's all said and done. And I was dinging it for that before. The song is great. And yeah, bits and pieces here that we've all heard before, and like Big Sexy said, this is the genesis of stuff like that, and it's an awesome jam, and I like it. I can hear it, and it doesn't bother me to hear such a long song like this, where I think at first listen it kind of got on my nerves a bit, because it seemed to just go on and on and on and not go anywhere at points. But I like that now. So again, this is another one of those songs that grew on me in a very short span of time. And the revised score on this one is a 9 out of 10.
But check this out. Remember now, this is a song that, okay, this version is like 12 and a half minutes long, but we know that this is a song that they've had extended jams on, right? And this thing can go on. Mm-hmm. But remember also, he recorded Joy and Repetition around this same time, and the lyrics say this, you know, the band was playing a song called Soul Psychedelicide. The song's a year long and had been playing for months when he walks into the place. So I find that pretty dope, man, that, you know, he's basically referencing this type of extended jam in Joy and Repetition. It's just dope, man. If Prince is the man, ain't nobody fucking with him. That's all. Next.
I love it. Ain't nobody fucking with him.
ain't nobody messing with him. Okay? Ain't nobody messing with him, dead or alive. It ain't happening.
I love it.
All right, let's just keep it moving.
All right. Woo! This next track, well, you know, I've been saying this for years. This is my shit right here. The Ball. Let me just say, for me, this is, I mean, they have songs. I was gonna say this is the funkiest Prince to me, but it's the funkiest in a category like Little Red Corvette and 777 certain. But this is like the next level of that. Like you say, oh, okay, you had that 1999, 82 Prince, and then you went through these changes. But to me, this song from me is like the next wave of like on some like super futuristic out the swamp, you know, like just, I don't know, it's hard to describe just the sound of this with the background guitar. I mean, with the sort of reverse guitar sounds. And I would have had him start an album. This would have been, it's interesting that it starts the album of Love Sexy in a different way. But the way this sound is the more slower down beat with the percussion and the drumming and shit. This is my shit. Like, you know, when I'm buried, when they have me at the funeral, I don't care. Yo, put this, what it is, y'all. They're like, what is going on here at the funeral? Come to this, nigga, I'm going to the promised land with the funk. Cause to me, this is my shit, man. And it's so funny, I don't even really know the words to this. Like I sing it with my own shit, but I just know the rhythm and the feel of it. You know, check it out. I'm like, oh, this nigga is nasty with it. It's like, I love it, man. Salute to I guess it's Brooks, Wally, Jerome. This, man, I wish they had came out with this joint, man. To me, this song is just filthy with that. I assume it's Prince drumming. It's nasty, man. This is a nasty, you a nasty nigga, man. That's how we say, you a nasty nigga. Because this song is just, I played it. I've been out before. It's actually the quality of this, and as far as what we had before, but I don't care. Like, it could sound like shit, and I still feel this song. It's still that funky to me. Man, I just love. The only thing missing from this, and again, this is a nitpick. I'm happy with everything that's happened with it. Just the fact that it segues into Joy and Repetition. I just like, that's why I said I wish they just had like a download where you could just, here is the crystal ball as it was presented. Because this is just I just feel like he was coming out with some new shit when I heard it. I was like, oh, what is this? Like, oh, you coming like that? That's one of these kind of songs. We're like, oh, you coming out like that? Okay. Anyway, I'm finished talking. I just sound stupid. Big Sexy. Go ahead. Yeah, man.
Yes, everyone knows this is the roots or groundwork for I Know. And
can I just say real quick, I Know on Love Sexy, which I loved, it ain't fucking with this. To me, this is where
polished.
One, like the original, the original version is just it's slapping. It's like, nigga, it's grits. You got to eat grits with this. I Know is where you at the fine dine restaurant and they're like, oh, would you like to order the grits? Like, you guys serve grits here? Sure, let me try. I gotta see this. And then you get it and it's like ain't got no, the seasoning ain't the same as when you had it at your grandma. And I paid $30 for this, but I could have got this at home for free, and it was funky as hell. That's about one thing I just had to point out. But I'm sorry, it's your opinion. Go ahead.
I hope you're satisfied, Mike, because now next time I hit one of these Michelin restaurants, I'm sorry, there are no grits on the menu. But you were absolutely correct, because I know it's a little bit, reined in a little bit, whereas the ball is like, what's up? Here it is, bam.
Yeah.
Again, I like it. I'm not as into it as deeply as you are, Mike, but I do enjoy it. And maybe I'm just not a grits guy. But I see everything you see and I hear it all, but it's just not hitting me where it's hitting you. And that's not to say it's a bad thing by any stretch. But again, I hear it, I think immediately of the fine dining version. And I have to listen to it a little more, I guess, to really appreciate the grits version.
Because I don't know whoever that whoever says that, I just see them with like, the niggas had like a bucket of chicken or something, and he had half the chunks in his mouth, and he just turned his head toward the mic, and I'm about to party, y'all, and then went right back to eating. I'm like, man, them niggas is funky in there. Like, okay. Anyway,
all right, this is what's going to happen. Next time I go to Chicago, I'm going to grab Big Ken. We're going to go over to 3 Michelin star Alinea and ask for the grits.
Hey, man, you'd be surprised. All right, Big Ken.
Mike, I got to agree with you, man, wholeheartedly, man. I mean, this song, man, long-time favorite. Look, Prince summed it up in the very beginning. You got any notion about the way things are, give them up. If you got a weak heart, split now. We got to get funky. I mean, come on, man. That tells you right off the bat what's going on here, man. And I'm with you. I describe it as this song is kind of genre busting, right? Meaning, yeah, it's funk, but it's not your typical funk, right? It's not. A lot of people define funk a certain way. I mean, this is a next level. You got that classic bass line that's kicking. Prince's drumming is top notch in the pocket, and I love the tuned down snare and all the rim shots that he's doing. Eric in Atlanta, they going off. You got Brooks and Wally and them acting a fool in the background. It's just crazy, man. It's perfect, man. And all I'll say is that, yeah, we all know that Jordan Repetition should follow this. We would have hit the Prince lottery. We could have got the full version, meaning the ball segueing right into the full Jordan Repetition in this quality. That would have been great. But I'm going to assume that there may have been a technical reason why they didn't do it. Would have been nice. It would have put the set even more over the top than it already is, if that can be believed. But nonetheless, the ball is still excellent in and of itself, man.
Yes, sir. And I always thought they was saying, niggas don't want to fight. But I don't think that's exactly what he's saying. That's how I sing. Anyway, man, day dropping. I'm curious to hear the rating on this one.
Oh man, what it is, Joe. That's all I had to hear. But you know what? For years, and I'm gonna just do a little tiny disagreement with you, Mike. Because for years, because of the degraded quality of the boot, and I would just hear that first few seconds of it, and I'm like, man, and I would skip it. I slept on this song for years because I couldn't understand what he was saying at the beginning. It just turned me away. Like, this is one of those. I've got 130 other boots to listen to. I ain't got time to listen to something that sounds so bleh. But hey, I have been redeemed because my God, this song is great. It's nuts, and having it and as clear as it is now, no excuses. No excuses, y'all. You gotta hear this song. Sometimes the original draft is the best draft. Sometimes you can overdo stuff and you can play with the song or with a poem or a short story or whatever. You can do too much to it and it loses its flavor. It gets diluted. And I'm not saying that I know it's a diluted track. I'm saying it's a very different track. This one here, though, man, the ball. I like it because it's much clearer now. This song is fun. This song is funk. This song is crazy. It's nostalgia galore because of it, because it makes me think of how I would skip it before. And now, I ain't skipping this song now. There's no way in hell I'm skipping this song now. What's the score on this one? This one's a 10 out of 10, baby. You know that this is it. You know this is the one. This God damn, this Vault 2 CD is nuts.
It's nasty.
And it's only halfway done.
Yeah, we about to get real in a minute.
Yeah. I love the energy. Get Susan on the line, goddamn.
That's right. Bring her on.
Yeah. Mike, just go on, kick it off, because I got some shit I got to get off my chest. Okay.
Well, let's get into it. So next up, Adonis and Bathsheba. And you know what? The floor is yours, Big Ken.
All right. So, y'all, okay. Fellas, you guys know I love Susan Rogers, man. I think we all love Susan Rogers.
Much
right?
respect. Much respect.
Yes. Her contributions to Prince and his catalog are unassailable. I mean, they're endlessly appreciated by us, right? We know this. But if I got my history right, I seem to recall hearing her say in an interview that Prince did this song, finished the song, was all proud of it, asked her what her opinion of it was, and she laughed at it and told him that it was corny and over the top. Now, if that's true, okay, if we take that as truth, then that means she likely discouraged him from releasing this song. And my brothers, that is a crime of epic proportions that I may never be able to forgive. Now, if you're listening, Susan, I love you, but baby girl, you were dead wrong, because I submit to all of you that this song here, man, God damn it, this is one of the most beautiful, the most magnificent, the most beguiling, the most elegant ballads that Prince has ever recorded, man. From the first note, every single aspect of this song is perfect. It works. I mean, it's just such a beautiful piece of work. I mean, you got the lush flowing harps that's flowing throughout, man. You got Eric's flute accompanying those harps. You got these seductive lyrics delivered ever so gracefully by Prince, including his background harmonies. He's on the drums with the tuned down snare and the rim shots with those harps and the flutes in the background. It's just beautiful. Then he goes into this sexy guitar solo in the second half of the song that's complemented by the harps. Atlanta got a trumpet solo. I mean, it's beautiful. Eric's sax, and all of that just takes you all the way out to the end of the song. It's just stunning, man. And every time I hear this, guys, I'm gonna tell you, and I felt this from the very beginning when this song surfaced about a year or so ago. Every time I hear this song, I swear to you, every single time, I'm baffled, man. Like, I'm baffled. I'm astonished. Like, something as exquisite as this song languished in the vault, man. I mean, and it's never, like Ernie just said a little while ago, he had this in the vault. You understand what I'm saying? Like, dude, some artists go their whole career, man, and the typical artist slow song, is standard paint by numbers, man. But this here, man, this is something that's on another level, man. This is in that adore category. This is in that, when two are in love. This is on that. I mean, Prince was a master, and we all know this. He was a master at writing ballads, man. Like, I don't know if anybody could even come close, man. So the fact that this languished in the vault is just damn near criminal, man. So I just love this song, man. It has a very grand feel to it. It seems epic to me, at least to my ears. It's ambitious in scope from the first note. And just the fact that he had this in the vault, man, just shows to me just how supremely talented this guy was, man. It's just unmatched excellence, man. So I'm going to give it a score. It's a 50 out of 10.
Damn.
Okay? And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Okay, I know this might be blasphemous to some out there, but, I don't give a damn. I'm saying it. This song to me, I love them both, but this song toe to toe can go with Adore. Toe to toe. Okay? Anybody, I'm taking all comers. This can go toe to toe with it. I ain't saying it's better. I'm saying it's in the same exact category. It's epic. It's not your standard ballad. Okay, this should have been put out. And this should have been put out, in my opinion. It's a crime that it wasn't. So I'm glad that we finally got it, and I'm glad that people can finally hear it. But this is insane.
Yeah. Listen, I remember when you first heard a snippet of this. It was a snippet, maybe like a minute or something, had leaked many eons ago. And I remember that. I was like, whoa. I was like, what? I'm like, he coming with that? Like, that sounds, and there's so many things going in there. If you really listen, it really harkens back to just it's in the same sort of sits in that blues kind of vein as a Question of You. It's just done differently, but it still has that boom, 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 boom. I was like, okay, but he just added that little pimp. Bam, 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 bam. I was like, he's clowning. And then when the full song eventually leaked, I died. I was resurrected. And then I was like, everything you just said, Big Ken, I was like, how did something like this not come out? It don't make no sense.
None.
When I hear the thing with Susan, I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense to me, but there's, I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. Let me just say this, and y'all take it how you want. There's two sort of people who listen to Prince music and can appreciate it. Those who have had good pussy, whether you're a man or a woman, and those who have not.
Wow.
And to me, this song,
draw your own conclusions.
As I said, this song is some good. So, to me, it's like it's a no-brainer. It don't make no sense why. I can understand why certain people would be like, "Oh, that's kind of corny." I don't really understand. I mean, I get it, but that's why you gotta have the right ears with time. What kind of music that you do. And I'm just like, whoever was around Prince, if Morris and some of them cats or whoever was around, they'd be like, nigga, listen, can I get that?
For real.
You don't want let me get that. Because this would have been the shit if this dropped. I could actually, and I used to say this to I could actually hear, because I know he's heard this and I know they're deep into Prince. If D'Angelo and or Questlove, I wouldn't have been shocked if they had put this out. Like if they copied this and it's like, this is going to be a D'Angelo song, and we would have found out that it was really Prince's shit. Because this to me is like their whole shit, in my opinion. I could hear Quest playing this on the drums, and I could see D'Angelo singing this, and it would not come off whack at all. Like they have that pocket, that kind of vibe. And then have Raphael Sadiq playing the guitar. So I could have easily seen them brothers handle something like this, but I'm not mad at anything you said, and Big Ken. And you know what? You are right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's right, baby. That's right. Back me up.
This sits on the same. You can pull this out their door bag and vice versa. Like if you can feel that vibe, this is that same vibe.
Same vibe.
And like I said, this is one of those Prince songs, and there's a lot of these Prince songs, and that's why he can appeal to a lot of ladies. They be feeling Prince, because this is by a man who's had some good pussy, and it breathes through the rhythms and the feel of this song. So that's how I know this song is a banger. Big Sexy and Sec.
Follow that up.
Just don't mention no more body parts.
I think when I hear this song, I think the words "too soon" come into play. In '86, granted, it's up there with Adore, but I don't think we were ready for this. Now, had he did this a couple of years later, yeah. But I agree with everybody. This should have come out. Susan, I had the privilege of meeting Susan, and she's wrong. Bottom line. We all make mistakes. We're all wrong here and there. She's wrong on this one. The way the guitar solo is just, blistering kind of like bubbling underneath the surface. The way he does the background vocals, and from what I understand, this is just him, Leeds, and Bliss, and they come up with this. It's amazing. I like it because I'm a guitar head, and it's just throughout the whole song. You hear it. You hear the horns, trumpets, and sax. This is a great song. And the thing is, it would be equally great if you took the lead vocal off, left the background there, and changed nothing. It would still be that great. And then that's amazing. That's amazing. This is a spectacular piece of music. It really is.
Hey, real quick, one thing I noticed about this song, and actually I had a lot of these songs in this vault set, is that I like how the second half of the song is just extended instrumental. You know what I'm saying? He did that a lot. Yes. Like he did that on Eggplant, like he did the few vocals, and then the remainder of the song, he just lets it flow. And there's a couple of more songs that we're going to get to. It's like that. So that's a common theme that he was doing around this time, which is really great.
Well, actually, to me, it just dates back to like 1999. Most of those tracks on that album, he just let it go. He did a song and then they go in.
Yeah.
So good call out. Man, day dropping. Let's go, brother.
Let's go. Okay. So to kind of go off of your unique way of describing it, you're either an A or a B, right? And if you're an A or a B, you decide what A or B is. But if you're an A or a B, I'm gonna say those who are A's, whatever A may be, those who are A's, they're gonna appreciate this song. You're right. So as an A, I'm gonna say
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, I am so glad this song came out. So many people can make their own decisions on it, and they're gonna be thinking about that A and B. Mike, you watch, man. When they say that, man, only an A can appreciate this type of a song. Cause look, at its basic core, what lyrically, what is this? A man and a woman. They're in a beautiful place, and they're looking at each other, and they got that itch, and they got to scratch it. And they go, oh, there's a nice place over there. Let's go check it out. Ah, shit, ain't no bed. Oh, well, we're going to fuck standing up. There it is. That's what this song is about. That's it. It's not deep.
To
it's
love,
not a deep
they
song.
are blind. It ain't got nothing to do with love. It's just pure lust. That's what it's about.
Yes. And you know what? And as basic as that sounds, this song is beautiful. Wrapped around all that, as basic as that is. That's why this song is that's why the song is awesome. That's why the song is beautiful, and no, it's not too sugary. Susan was wrong. We've spoken about this before. This is, and I think people over time will realize it. This is the new one of the new masterpieces here. And, as if the guitar work wasn't enough, that just puts it over the top for me. This is a 10. If you want to call it a 20, you want to call it 30, 40, 50, that's fine. Don't you dare go below a 10 when you grade this, though, on a scale of 10. If you want to give it a higher number, ain't nobody mad at you. Because this is at least a 10. It's at least a 10. Probably more. So
there you go.
All right. And I got to ask, because I know the audience is wondering, what is that sound in the background? Is that your car or something? Or?
Yeah. That way my phone don't die out, and so my apologies.
Let's just picture Ernie. He's in the same truck that Sanford and Son was in. He's recording.
That's fine.
Work it like a job, goddammit.
Wow.
Well, this big dummy, this big dummy got a head on out, fellas. I unfortunately, my daughter, she got taken care of at the dentist, so she texted me a couple of minutes ago, said I'm out, so I got a head on out as well.
Okay.
So, but
man, thank you. You've offered so greatness.
Before you guys.
To this.
All right. If I can get back on before you guys are done and get back home before that, I definitely will.
Okay.
But if not, then we'll catch you guys on Vault 3.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Big Sexy. Excuse me, I'm all over. Thank you, Day Dropping. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
All right, man.
All right, fellas.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Later.
All right. So Adonis and Bathsheba. There you go. All right, man.
I'm so glad y'all agree with me, man, because I didn't want to have to slice nobody on this
Oh
show, man.
no.
I was prepared, man. Come
That's
on,
a
bro.
no-brainer, man. That's a no-brainer.
I'm glad.
All right, next up, Forever in My Life early vocal run through. Big Sexy, you want to start it off?
All right. I was hoping I would start on this one. When I got the box and I'm doing my initial listening on vinyl, this kicks off, I believe, record 3, 4, shit, I don't know. But it kicks off one of the sides, and I'm listening to it. The beginning kind of threw me because it was in a higher pitch where he goes, la da 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 da. I'm like, all right. And it was a little higher. But then after that, the whole thing changed. The gospel feel that's on the completed version is gone. This is more like Prince is just cooling at the beach or sitting on the deck with his little acoustic, just doing his thing. I love this. I will never tire of this. The only nitpick I have is, again, where he does the la da 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 da. It should be in a lower register or a lower key. Because he's a la da da da. No. It shouldn't be up there. It should be a little lower to match the vibe and the tone of the delivery of the rest of the song. I love this. I prefer this to the other version. I do. Hands down.
Okay.
Yes, hands down.
Real quick, I would say this. This is very interesting to get this version. I'm glad they put this on because it's like a different look at it. I'm like, oh, okay, this has a different feel to it, and it, right off the top. I miss though the cascading, conflicting background harmonies and all that. I'm so used to hearing it that way, and I love that. I wish they would able to take the original version and then just take the end part of this, the extended part, and slap that on. Because as he's, you hear where it was, it sort of fades or cuts off on the released, but then you let it go on this version, and you start to hear the stuff from from the live show. You're like, oh, this is what he was doing. There was this, the extended. So I love it because you can get to hear the extended part of it. And I will say this too. I actually think this sonically sounds better than the album version, if that's possible. It just in my mind, it just sounds, I don't know, something about this. It sounds even clearer or something, but I like this. I don't like this over the original only because I want to hear those other vocals and stuff, but the guitar stuff and the end part, golden. I'm glad we got that. Big Ken.
All right, so I'm gonna have a combination of what you guys said. I do like this. I take that back. I do love this version. I mean, I find this version interesting because to me, it's a perfect showcase of what we talked about. What I talked about in the last show is like how Prince is able to skillfully blend like vastly different vibes and styles in his albums, and in many cases, as it is here, the same song, right? So like Big Sexy said, like to me, I hear it. It starts off almost countrified or folksy or gospely, however your tendencies lean, in comparison to the original version. Then exactly at 3:02, he drops that slinky, sexy ass dope bass line, and the whole tone changes. I mean, on the dime, and it gets funky with a quickness. It's a very stark contrast. And it's very, very funky. To me, it actually kind of, I know it's not exactly the same thing, but I kind of got the same vibe. You guys remember the Raspberry Beret 12-inch single? Like the whole song is going the way it's going. And then when that, that bass line, doom, 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 it changes the whole song, tone of the song changes. And it's kind of similar here. But you add in the hand claps, in the beginning part of this song, he's doing basically open, just straight chords, just on the acoustic guitar. But then later he shifts into that acoustic chicken grease, if you call it that. And during the second half, he's got the ad libs going, and it's really, really dope. And Mike, it's kind of interesting that you mentioned that because you're right, man. I agree with you. I personally prefer the album version. I think the album version is perfect as it is because it's very minimalist, right? In the way he's just got the Lindrum and his layered vocals, and you get to hear, with his background and the offset of the vocals, you kind of get the tone of what the lyrics mean kind of take more of an effect in that song. But I think the bomb 12-inch would have been to have the original song as we have it on the album, and then the second half, put that second half with the bass line right at the end of that and let it roll. That would have been the bomb 12-inch. And as a matter of fact, just to satisfy my curiosity, I did just that. I took these two files, put them in the Ableton Live, and spliced them together at the right point, and it sounds like a bomb 12-inch. That would have been perfect if they would have officially released something like, if he would have officially released that back in '87. That would have been a bomb single, I think, and the 12-inch would have been great. But this is a good version. I like it, but I still think the album version is better, a little bit better than this.
All right. Moving right along, we got Crucial. Well, my terrible take on it. Crucial alternate lyrics. Big Kid.
Yeah, for me, man, to me, this is just another example of what we were talking about, like with Adonis and Bathsheba, man. It's a fabulous ballad. It's been available a long time from the underground. We've known this, and I've loved it from the first time I heard it. I'm very glad that we got it in this quality. But it's just another one of those songs to me in the vein of Adore and Adonis Bathsheba, where they don't feel like a typical ballad to me. I get the sense of a larger, more epic scale and scope than everybody else's typical slow songs. And like Adore and Adonis and Bathsheba, when you listen to this, especially with some good headphones on, as the song progresses, the intensity of the song rises as if to underscore his point, that he's trying to tell this girl. And he's got the crazy expressive solo, the string patches in the back, the horns, the Eric and the it's just a beautiful song, man. It's just I'm very glad to have it in this quality, man. Prince was a master, man, at the slow song. He was a master at that, man. He was up there, man. One of the best at making those kind of songs.
Yeah, man. I was some kind of underappreciated, or at least that's not as spoken as much as, his guitar work. And it's like, yeah, but as Days Dropping's name is, he was having, he had them draws dropping. Like, he knew how to make them slow jams too, man.
Yes, sir.
He was the man at that. I can't say anything different. I've heard many different versions of the song over the years. This song was officially released on the Crystal Ball, set back in the 90s. This is a different take on that. I love this. If I would have nitpicked, I would have asked maybe for a different song since you've already had this, but I'm not complaining. This is a different version with some slightly different lyrics and a different take on it. So I welcome this. This is a bomb song. It's always been bomb to me.
Yep.
So that's all I got. Big Sexy.
I remember the first time I heard this song, I just graduated college and I was living in the Bay Area, and I went to a record store. I'm not going to give anybody up. And they had a little section in the Prince section of, shall we say, imported CDs. And I picked this one up. I'm playing in the car. I'm like, why wasn't this released as a single? Either with these lyrics or the original lyrics. And I go back and we've talked about the configurations of Dream Factory and, things like that. It's not included at all. I don't get it. I don't know why someone didn't say, man, put this out and quit bullshitting. It's a great ballad. It holds up. First time I heard it was 20-something years ago, and it holds up now. This was an opportunity missed. But I'm glad it's here even with the different lyrics. I like the ending of it. Have a little guitar solo happening in there, and I will always love this song. And I remember when I first got it, I used to include it on my what do you call them? My mixtape CDs.
That's kind of scary. Huh?
It would work like a charm. But somebody at Warner's or Paisley, I'm going to have to ask certain people about this next week about why this wasn't released as a single, but we'll find out, but it's a great song.
Hey, this is why either you had some good or you didn't.
Yep.
This might be one of those songs. I don't know. All right. Next up is the Cocoa Boys.
Yeah.
And listen, I've heard this title before and seen this reference before in Prince things. I didn't really know exactly. I think there was he even had an idea to do a movie on them and stuff, right? Here's for me, I'm still getting into this one. I've never heard this before. So listening to it, I'm like, okay, this, it comes in and has that same sound as the Sign of the Times stuff, that keyboard sound. And I'm like, okay, this is in that pocket, in that vein. And I'm listening to it and say, oh, this is one of them storytelling type songs Prince would do from time to time. It's okay. For me, I'm still getting into this one. I could see this I'd be on my Billy Sparks, we're at the club and the kids up there, he's doing his thing. I'm like, man, he's in rare form tonight, ain't he? It's like, the Cocoa Boys? Okay. And he's just telling the story. And I'm like, oh yeah, hey, you're doing this thing. I don't know what he's talking about, but hey, he's talented now. The boy's talented. So I'm still getting into this one. I can see the appeal of it. It's just one of those ones for me. I'm gonna have to listen to it for a couple of times. I find myself like, boom, 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 boom. I see what he's doing. It's just gonna take a little bit for me to go all in, but I can appreciate this, and I could see how it could have been a whole big thing. But this is just that one kind of Prince where I sit back and I'm like, yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm trying to catch up a little bit. So I can openly admit that, but I'm starting to feel it. Big Ken.
So you never heard the version that kind of surfaced like a year or so ago? Just the vocals only?
If it mustn't, if it was vocals only, is that what you just said?
Well, yeah. So it was stripped down. So it didn't have like the crowd noise. It didn't have the horn. It didn't have the horn stabs and stuff. So it had a couple different lyrics in it that are missing off this version, but it's the same beat, same music and everything.
I may have, and I just probably wasn't really feeling it. So I just clicked it and went on to the next. It probably was on one of those blasts from the past type thing. There's so many songs to choose from.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, for me, man, I loved this song then. To me, this is another Exhibit A track for me, man. I play this all the time, that version and this one. And for me personally, it's a highlight of this set. One of the highlights of this set for me. I mean, it's I was hooked initially by the beat. I like the drums. I like the beat, and I like that. Basically he's using the same but different Sign of the Times bass line. It's the same bass line that's in Sign of the Times, but kind of a different key, different bass sounds. But this version is a little bit more fully realized because you got the crowd sounds like I talked about. The Eric and Atlanta, they doing their additional stuff. There's some additional vocals that Prince has in here, vocal lines, and then there's some that were taken out. Like on the other version, he describes his band. He's in the band called Sandra D. Everybody had blonde hair, blue eyes, all that kind of stuff. Those lyrics taken out, but then he's adding some other lyrics that show up later in It's Going to Be a Beautiful Night and in Positivity. But I just always like the storytelling aspect of it, the funky storytelling aspect of it, because I can when he's explaining this, I can visualize the battle of the bands. To me, it's always, for whatever reason, I know it's not exactly the same, but for me, I kind of picture it's like an offshoot of the Prince versus Time and Graffiti Bridge. It's a battle of the bands. They meet up at a place and, the Time do their thing and he do his thing. But overall, man, to me, it's an impressive song. To me, I like it. It's one of those ones that, I'd have bought the set just to have this personally. It's one of those type of songs for me, man. I've listened to it often ever since it surfaced over a year or so ago, and so to have this version, the full version, I'm very happy to have that.
Yeah, and wasn't Romeo Blue one of the Cocoa Boys?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't say.
Romeo Blue. Yeah, Lenny Kravitz. Yeah. In a different world, he would have had a different introduction to us, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, man, Big Sexy.
I'm with you on this one, Mike. I'll be quick. I'm not familiar with it at all, and I'm still processing this one, honestly. I mean, I like what I hear. I like the horn section, and I like a narrative, lyric, sometimes, but I'm still getting into this one. I do like the guitar, though.
I feel you. Yeah, he's in rare form. All right. Next up, Hallelujah.
Well,
Yeah, when the dawn of the morning comes. I had never heard this before. This was a new one to me. And all I could say is this is probably the most obvious in my mind church influence type of a Prince song. And man, he could have probably did a whole, like, he could have really went on some gospel, you know, Southern gospel style, like, I mean, heavy into it, you know, because I was playing this today out loud, and, you know, I was kind of clowning, and I was hoping the thunder and lightning didn't strike me down, but, you know, I was in there dancing, hey, you know, running to the collection plate, falling out, you know what I'm saying, speaking in fake tongues and all that. Yeah, this is, you know, he had that in him, man. Like, you could hear it in the music, and especially like in the live things. But this to me was just the most blatant, like, oh, you're on some, okay, you're a Pentecostal Baptist. I see you. A certain part of me listening to this now, I could hear later, I hear like trust, or so I could see trust being sung. Trust, who do you? And we just had that same, I can see he grew up in the church. He obviously attended, you know, a black church. So I kind of grew up in that too. So I instinctively, it's gonna get me, you know, like, where's my grandma? I better not be cutting up, you know, slapping the back of the head. But no, I feel this. This is great, man. He's got so much. It's just like, damn, this dude could have done all these different genres. Who can do the artist who's doing funk, he's doing rock, and then can slip right into doing some gospel, into jazz, and it's just like, man, this guy is crazy. And this is an 86 or whatever. This was like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, like you said, can't nobody fuck with Prince.
That's what that's all I've been saying, man.
Yeah.
You know, this dude is just, he was a conduit, man. This was coming from another place, literally.
Yeah, but go ahead, man. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, no, I'll just, you know, just piggyback on what you said. I mean, this is dope, man. Up-tempo, gospel funk, if you will. Now, for me, I heard it. I immediately got echoes of Trust, like you said, blended with, like, The Line, and blended with a little bit of Baby I'm a Star. Like, that very first organ, right before he starts, is dead right out of Baby I'm a Star.
Yeah.
But all of them got that fast, up-tempo, you know, it's real dope, man. And it gets real funky when that chicken grease drops around 250 in there. I love the use of the organ when he holds those long chords. And so, yeah, man, I'm with you. I dig this song a lot, man. It's a highlight of one. It's another highlight in the set, man.
All right. Deacon Big Sexy?
In 1979, I believe that was 79 or 80, the first Blues Brothers film came out. In that film, there's a scene where Belushi and Aykroyd are in a black church standing in the back, and the spirit hit John, and it was this type of music. I mean, you have the floor show going on, you got the tambourines banging, you know, you got the people at the clapping. Well, I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? That's where this is, right in the middle of it. Like you said, my Pentecostal church, right in the middle of it. And I can just close my eyes and see it. You know, people dancing, doing the whole shebang, like coming out of there, putting in the word, man, and just passing that plate around. I'm like, damn. Okay,
Let me quit playing. Podcaster Michael Dean, cute.
And they get caught up in it, and that's exactly what this is.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. I could just see him. It would have been such a treat to just see him like recording in the studio. Cause I know he could not just be doing this and not feeling it. Like probably dancing all in the studio. Yeah, oh yeah. I can just see Susan now. Well, I don't know about this one. Let me stop. I got love, Stu. I'm just clowning. What kind of music is this? All right. Next up is Witness for the Prosecution version 2. And I'm going to have to sacrifice myself to say, I don't really care for this version. I've heard this before, not as great quality. And I just don't like that. It's too minimalist to me. I can hear It's full on Prince though. I mean, it's everything, you know. I can see him doing this. I just hearing the other version, and this is such a drastic change, and that other version is my shit. Again, I would just say this. I'll be on my Billy on this one. I'm just, I had this cigar in my hand, shaking my head, and he's talented. Bad motherfucker. They're rare for him. It is what it is. It's slow night tonight when money isn't everything. So it's not hating. It's just, off night. You know what I'm saying? It's Thursday. It's all good. This is a Tuesday. This is the kid on a Tuesday night, at the club. And it's like, it's okay. What time is Mountaineers get on? So that's this is for me. Big Ken.
Yeah, actually, I like this song. I mean, I like how different this version is. Like you said, it's more minimalist, it's more sparse. But to me, the sparseness just gives it, and the different way he delivers the vocals, man, gives it a whole different vibe, man. That it's different. I'm not saying that it's worse or better than the other one, because I like them both. I think what kind of gets me on this is you're right. Like it starts off a certain way, but if you get closer to the end, that the way he's using the organ. Especially towards the end, I really dig that a lot. So, I mean, I like it. It's a cool song. I wouldn't say it's like, the best song, but I dig it. It's kind of like what's that song that was on the Purple, like Possessed? Like he's got 3 or 4 different versions of Possessed, right? And they're all vastly different than each other, right? So it's just, I just think he was kind of like trying to experiment and see which one he likes the best. And then at the end, he never released either one of them. So,
right.
So, but I dig it. I think it's okay.
Big Sexy.
A couple of years ago, there was a Netflix special called The Black Godfather, story about Mr. Clarence Avant. One of the people he signed to his Sussex label was a cat named Dennis Coffey, did the song Scorpio. The guitars from this song are taken directly, if not, lick for lick from that song. And it takes me right back to like 1971. I love it. When I hear those guitars, I'm like, da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, I know this. Now, having said that, it is different than the one that we've heard before. You don't have the witness. You don't have that at all, and that's kind of, as much as that got on my nerves, it's conspicuous by its absence. That one was more like in your face. This one was more like a sneak attack, catch you from behind. What? Pow! I like it. It's not top tier, but I do enjoy it just for the guitar thing alone.
Okay. What was the artist you mentioned?
Dennis Coffey.
Dennis Coffey. I'm going to check
He
that
did
out.
an instrumental called Scorpio.
Yeah, you've heard it, Mike, because it's been hip hoppers have sampled Scorpio so much, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you
probably
heard
know
it.
it if I heard it. Okay.
Yeah, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and listen to it. You'll recognize it immediately.
Gotcha. Okay. One of those songs.
It's got a classic break that's been sampled forever.
Okay. All right, man. We're at the last track. This has been Vault 2 is quite the album. And let me just throw in here too. If you can, again, go get the vinyl version, man, because
seriously,
it's just like, I'm gonna just back up for a second. Side 6 is just 3 songs. Soul Psychedelic Side, The Ball, and Adonis and Bathsheba. Now, imagine you just put the needle down, and look, Soul Psychedelic Side is 12 minutes unto itself. That's a whole out. I mean, that's just a groove. That's what they said. That's a mood. You be locked into that. That's just one side, you'd be done for the night. You're like, man, I feel a lot better. So it's just something about vinyl. It's the way things are laid out. With that said, this last song is It Bees Like That Sometimes. Now, I'm going to take you back into the days when you used to get the Prince records back in the day, the Prince album. And let's be honest. Sometimes you'd put the record down and there was that one song that you was like, you just can't stop playing. You play it over and over. For me, like when the Parade album came out, of course, Kiss was the big hit. But by the time I got the album and I got to listen to it, there was a one song that just kept playing over and over. It's like, yo, they have to put this song out. This is automatic bangers, like, you know, and there wasn't no boots, so it's the first time you heard it. And on that album, for me, it was Another Lover. It was just like, this shit is tight. God damn. Hate Prince. You know, in a great way. I was like, damn, man, he always gonna have something, and you just be like, God damn. To me, this feels like that feeling. When I had never heard of this song. I've seen the title before, never heard this. Automatic, no brainer. I was like, they did it again. He ain't even alive. I was like, oh, this is gonna be my shit already. Right when it come, and the beat come on, I already know. I was, okay. He got me. This it. I don't care what I hear anybody else talk about. I heard some of these songs. I never heard this. Automatic. When the beat comes on, I was like, oh shit, this Violent Blue, you know, Jill Jones song. It's the exact same beat. You go back and look it up. I think it was recorded the same day or the day after, something like that. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then it's just like, I'm going to say this is easy listening Prince. That doesn't mean like it's easy listening music. I'm just like, he has those songs that it's just totally undeniable. Like, you going to like it. I don't care what style of music. It's just, this is, you can get into it. And just, man, like that sometimes. I don't even know what the hell he's saying, but I'm into the rhythm of it. Which incidentally, I know this is some other song, but when in my mind I was hearing the same rhythm of Push on Diamonds and Pearls. It's the same sort of rhythm of where they're doing the vocal, the verses.
Push up on it.
Yeah, I was like, is Rosie about to jump in on this? But I loved it. So I love this song. I play this. I don't already wore this out. And I play it all the time. I be at work. If I want to just feel relaxed. It's got that classic Prince style drumming in it. The beat machine. Like I said, I hate him. Hate him. I loved it. This brought me home. I was like, man, you know what? They can do whatever they do to his estate and they can release it, but you can't. When it's just the music, he's gonna peek his head through. And this, for me, this was the one where he just tapped me on my shoulder and said, I got you. Don't worry about it. You know, I got you. I know that shit you like. You know, he can do that for everybody, whatever style of music. But for me personally, this was that one where he's like, here, let me pull out the bag. I know you like this. I got some. So yeah, I love this shit, man. And this the title. It bees like that sometimes. It's like, man, he was saying that back then. This could rock today. That's if I knew Prince, if I was an artist or something, and I would have tried to trick him into giving me this shit. He's like, hey, I want to produce you. Oh, okay, word. Yeah, I got this, you know, I got some new shit that you're gonna like. Word. And I was like, can I listen to the vote real quick? You know, you probably don't like this song. You know, I know it's old, but you think I can get that one called It Beats Like That? Are you sure? I know you probably don't, you know, it ain't all that, you know what I mean? But can I get that one, Prince? I would try to I would reverse psychology to make him give it to me. Like, can I get, again, you've already put it out. You probably don't like it, but the Summertime thing, I know you said that was whack, but you think I can get that one? I would try to trick him to give me I would have had this been the first single. I don't give a fuck if it hit or not. Like, this is my shit. Putting this shit out. But anyway, Big Ken, what do you think?
Pretty much, I agree with you, man, wholeheartedly, man. It's another highlight of the set, man. Super funky intro with that Violet Blue beat, man. The bass thumping that he's doing on this is on point, as is the lead guitar, like you said, man. I get some Sly Stone vibes from this one. And, you know, I bet that, you know, this is one of them type of songs, man, where you know that if he did an extended version, he could do some damage with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you just know that this could be, he could just take this for another 5-10 minutes and just go in other places with it would be great. It's a strong close to this second vault, man, section, man. It's just a strong end to an already strong set of songs to begin with.
Yeah, man. I'm sitting here listening to it. I'm getting caught up. Big Sexy.
You said that, there's always that one song. And for you, that song was Another Lover Hole in the Head, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, for me, that didn't really come on as the song for me until the 12-inch came out with the hard section on it.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Well, that was just like, for me, that was the head buster. Because how do you get a song that was dope and make it like
dope?
Yeah. And then the extended part. Like I said, that was, again, I had died that year as well and was resurrected because I was like, I was like, this motherfucker. But anyway.
Now, with this one, it does, and you use the word relaxing. It is. It's just something, you could have in the background just doing some work. Like, I could be here, like, for instance, grading comic books or, tinkering with bookcases or something. And this is in the background, just, yeah, all right. Hey. I like it. I'm not familiar with it at all, but I do like the vibe it comes with. I'm not going to give it the vibe that Another Love Hole in Your Head gives me with 12-inch. I can't go that far, but it's good. I like it. It's relaxing, and it's just sets that nice eased back vibe a little bit. I like that a lot.
Yeah, man. I could just see you could be like in your car, top down, in summertime. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Nice lady or dude, whatever how you get it. And y'all just driving, you know what I'm saying? Just kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then, you should pull over to the over lake. And, you dog. And it be like that sometimes. I'm like, oh, okay, we doing this. Yeah, it be like that, girl. You know what it is. Anyway. Yeah, so it's a great song. Man, that was it for Vault 2. Big Ken, what's your thoughts on this particular set? Did we lose Ken? Maybe he's muted or something.
My bad. I had the mute on. Yeah, Vault 1 was great. A lot of excellent songs on there. Vault 2 raised the bar, man. I mean, it's like there's a lot of heavy hitters in this section for me, man. Some that get like serious repeated plays. It's almost like a boxer, man. Just haymakers, bro. Just right cross, left cross, uppercut. I mean, one after the other. To me, it just, again, man, I know I probably sound like a broken record because I said it last week. I'm going to say it this week. I'm going to say it when we do the Vault 3, man. This is just more proof, man, on how prolific Prince is. And we've talked about this entire show, man. The guy's range is just insane, man. Yeah, you could go from serious funk to countryfied gospel to rock to ballads. It's seamless, man. And again, I said it last week, man, this is just an embarrassment of riches, man. It's not fair. The playing field is not even close to being level, man. Like if you really just sit back and you take this set, just this subset of this set is proof of that, man. So it's just crazy, man. I'm just so glad, man, that a lot of this stuff is coming to light, We've been privy to some of this stuff, in the underground, but now it's going to be out there in the wild for a lot more people to experience, and it's going to expose people to him and open him up to a whole new audience, man. So I'm just glad that it's out there.
Yes, sir. Big Sexy.
Vault 2 validates everything all of us Prince heads have said and thought. When the non-believers, and there's still some out there, well, I don't think it was all that. Play Vault 2. Whoa. And none of this was released. These are things he's like, you know what? This ain't good enough for me to let out there. This stuff's keeping the vault for my own personal laughs. How about that? So he just continued to make great music. I can understand now why there was beef with Warner's, because their main issue was he has too much. We can't service it all properly. I can see that now because there is so much here, and he's coming to Warner Brothers. Here's a 3-album set. Boom, put that out. well, goddamn, Prince, we can't. I get it now from a standpoint of that old label system and how they would market and service singles. I get it. I can see it. But that doesn't mean that the artist should not do what he does. You just keep doing what you do. And that's what he did. He kept making music. He had to let it out. He couldn't keep it in. And that's really admirable and just shows, the depth of his immense talent, and I am enjoying showing people these new things and learning myself as they watch and learn with me about things I didn't know about. And it's been a great ride, and I'm just looking forward to all three.
Yeah. And I would just, it's just phenomenal. This section here, great songs. I love that we get to hear these in the highest quality possible. And that there were even new songs for the hardcore fan that we never got to hear before. I just hope that, and I'll say this for overall, I hope there's a time when music is like super appreciated, because this is some great stuff here. And I know our attention span gets to be so small and there's so much vying for our attention, but I can only hope in the future some kid or somebody, anybody, they're just going to be like, you know what, let me take a deep dive into some Prince, and they come across some of this stuff and this will be their first time, or they'll hear one of these songs and just be like, this is great. Whoa. And then their whole experience would be totally different from ours, right? Maybe they go backwards or they just go whatever order feels good to them. But in any order they go, there's just fabulous songs. And if they ever come across this stuff, boy, they are in for a treat. All genres are in for a treat because he covered the bases here. So this is great. This is better than, this is a step up from the first one. It's just like, it keeps getting better. So there you go. 2 under our belt. Salute and shout out to Day Droppin', who jumped in when he could. I guess next we have Vault 3, fellas. Get into that one. And
some bangers on that one as well, man.
Yeah, man. All right, well then, hey, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. My voice, when I'm on my Peter Brady, ladies and gentlemen.
Showing your age there with that one.
Yeah, devolving.
When it's time to change.
But ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you listening. If you haven't already, join our Patreon page to help support the show. Get early access to the podcast and some exclusives as well. Also, check us out on YouTube. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the page. And with that, work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace.